Hello folks, welcome back to Galactic Civilizations 4 Supernova. We're going to start up a brand new game today, and today we're going to be playing as the Xendar Brood, the other species that was added to the latest DLC. We're going to check them out. Sentient spiders uplifted by the Drengan Empire to serve as deniable agents for their darkest operations. When Lord Vrexar massacred a human colony, the Terran Alliance responded by obliterating their home world. Now the survivors emerge from hiding, seeking vengeance against both their former masters and their destroyers. We are web weavers. We have +6 to our ship range. We also can detect and navigate hyperlanes from the beginning of the game, which is pretty cool. I love hyperlanes. We have swarm tactics for an extra 8 logistics, which is pretty cool. Nice swarmy style of gameplay here. Colony ships. We start with 1 colony ship and a probe for our flagship. There's just the one. We are totalitarianism for our cultural awareness. And our phenotype is arachnid, so we have a +2 to soldiering and +10% approval. We love our jungle planet. We like jungle planets. And our citizens are spooters, mysterious and conniving. Stellar spiders are known to be opportunistic and predatory. Okay. Alright, what else have we got here? Looks we are solely intimidating. We have an extra +30 to intimidation, intimidation +1. And our homeworld is Silkspire, which weirdly is not a tropical world, which we prefer. It is in fact a volcanic planet type, so that's interesting. Well, let's go ahead and check them out. We're going to be playing today on incredible difficulty, going up from genius on our last playthrough up to incredible, and working our way back up to godlike. Godlike, I feel like godlike is a very specific playstyle, and there's just certain species that I don't think have a chance on godlike, but that's just me. Let me know what you think. Game pacing will be normal. Research rates normal. Minor races set to random. Hostile entities random. Civilization proximity not too close. Distant far. Let's go with not too close. I will stay with the same settings that we had for our last playthrough. Medium, galaxy size, standards, number of sectors, sector layout, set to normal, hyperlane frequency, frequent however, because I really like those. Star frequency we will put at common. Habitable planets, random, extreme planets, and resources all random. Our advanced settings, all victory conditions are enabled. There is no fog of war, or there is fog of war in our territories. The AI can surrender, and tech trading is allowed. Now, for this playthrough, we of course want the Drengan Empire. We of course want the Terran Alliance. Everything else will be random. Unfortunately, I wish there was a way that we could lock, say, the other Terran Alliance out. But that's not an option, unfortunately. I do wish that there was a way you could just, like, I don't know, right-click and it'll put like an X over it, and you know that you will not see that species out of your random pool. But, you know, it is what it is. Let us begin. The Xendar Brood. What do we have? Where are we? We are up in the, let's call it the 10 o'clock position. Here we have Silkspire. Not a bad system. We have a core world. Research is pretty bad, looks like. We have Silkspire 4, Silkspire 1, Silkspire 3, and some asteroid fields, which is all very nice to see. Our flagship, the Brood Instigator. Anything special about this guy? Nope. Let's just send him to survey. Our colony ship, we'll hold off on that decision for a minute. We do have some hyperlanes here. Fortunately, does not seem to connect to any star systems. Now, if a hyperlane does connect to a star, you do have vision on that star to see if there's anything, I believe. I could be very mistaken in that assumption. But in any case, I think we're going to grab our probe and send him down to investigate these yellow stars over in this direction. Let's just see what range we have on our telescope takeover. We could get these 3 planets very nearby, these 3 stars rather. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We have Cloner Prime over here and a class 4. Nothing around this yellow star. That's unfortunate. A class 1 volcanic. So that's all really bad. Let's grab our probe and yeah, let's do a flyby over here. Alright, we've met the Eternal Clones already on turn 1. I thought we were set to distant, but I guess this is the clones. They're like right here. I thought this was a minor civilization, but no, it's just the clones. Well, okay then. Alrighty. Well, nothing around this planet. Star. Let's move over here. For our first research, it's going to be Imperial Doctrine, and I can already tell with 22 months for Imperial Doctrine, our science sucks. Our science sucks. We have a Betatron collider here that can damage the enemy fleet. We also start off with a thulium, which is very nice to see. All right, our capital city here gives us +6 to population, extra control, 100 influence, culture points per month +1, and has decent adjacency, +2 to all adjacency, and it gets extra income and pop cap. So, not bad at all. I think somewhere like here where we could maybe make use of these tiles. There is a military tile down here that we could use for a starport. We won't get huge adjacency on it, but I think this science tile is so important for us. +3 to research. We have to make use of this. I think right there for our capital city is fine. We'll get +2 to all of these, which is decent. Now, what do our buildings give us? Growth +50. Sacred breeding chamber preserving ancient spider genetic legacies. Gives us 150% growth and +6 pop cap. Damn, that's a lot. I think we can slot that right here. That seems fine. We've got a toxin filter nursery for -25% pollution and an extra -5 per adjacency, which is really good. It seems like this planet does have very high pollution as it is a volcanic world. So let's try to turn that around. We'll drop that in somewhere. It gives adjacency to nothing, but it likes manufacturing tiles. All right, well, we'll put that one on the table for now. Nesting collective, extra pop cap, 5% influence growth, and another 20% influence growth, plus growth and pop cap. So we're going to have huge populations, like absolutely massive, stupidly big colonies. And these two buildings, it looks like this is a civilization achievement. These we can just build, so we can actually go huge on culture. This just gives us income +3 levels to all, however, which is very nice. I think that's going to go right there. Gross income 5%. That's beautiful. Plus another +3 levels to all adjacency onto that science tile. Very good. And this gives us food and gross income. Now, we are going to need a bunch of food. That is for sure. That's a +2 on food, so we like that. And we can build as many of these as we want. Okay, interesting. So we just need a good spot for the toxin building. You know, I think right here is fine. A +3 will do nicely. Are we happy with this ordering? Maybe like this is better. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And we will probably end up building up a bunch of these. We actually have not put in the nesting collective, and we do want that for even more growth. If we do decide to do something that is influence growth, we almost certainly would love a beacon of Babylon, but I don't really see any great places to beacon. Maybe here, and then we can like surround this with stuff. But this doesn't give adjacency to influence tiles, right? So it's not going to be great for the beacon. Maybe we don't even need a beacon on this planet. But anyway, we'll just drop this right here for now. And that seems okay for our opening infrastructure. I'm happy with all of that placement. Let's move it along. Now, for our planet, we did not find anything with our scans or our initial probe. And since our science is so bad, I mean, we have +2 on our research. I think I will just go ahead and settle one of these planets immediately. This one's fine here. This gives us +1 minerals, technology, and wealth. So we'll go ahead and settle that. Sure, that'll just give us a tiny, tiny little bump to our research. It's the tiniest. And we're going to need to do everything possible to actually get our science going. Because, damn, this is a slow science start. Slow science start. Alright, we've encountered the Eternal Syndicate. We will need to establish a way to communicate as soon as possible so we can start building our relations. On this difficulty, I'm not too worried about warring with the AI. It isn't that much more difficult than, say, Genius level. Here we see they have a 50% bonus to their weapons and probably similar to armor and shielding, perhaps. They've got an extra +1 plus an extra 25% on their speed, an extra 50% to their HP. But all of this pales in comparison to the godlike bonuses, which are somewhere up in the 200 to 300 percent range, that is. So it should be a challenge, but it shouldn't be an insurmountable challenge. Let's go ahead and get the rest of our infrastructure up. Our cabinet. We got drawer here with pretty good intelligence. Seems like spiders have a base -1 to their int. They do have +3 to diligence and a +2 to resolve. So all things considered, not bad. A +8 is pretty good. We'll go ahead and drop you into the Minister of Technology. We'll see about recruitment for a little bit of extra ship range. Now, you would make a decent-ish governor for a spider. He was a former gladiator and a brainwashed cultist. Formerly brainwashed cultist. We will want this guy. I'll hire him for now and put him as a minister, but he may be promoted to a governor at some point. For our special ships, we have the Path of Bruin, a frigate class. It doesn't require any logistics. Pretty good. Nothing too fancy. We have the Anvil, another frigate here with +1 attack, beam attack per level. So he can actually scale pretty decently with levels. This ship might not be bad if we can keep it alive. We have the Iron Fist here, which gives 20% manufacturing to worlds in this ship's radius, which is pretty decent. Don't see anything too fancy here. The Unyielding Will. Ally ships within the area of effect receive 8 evasion. +1 control per battle. That's not bad. It's not like amazing, but the +8 ECM here, that's an extra 8% chance for the enemy to miss. That's not bad. We've got the Lash over here, a cruiser. Completely heals after every battle. It's nice. Very useful. Not incredible. We've got Skyfire here, a battleship that gives 30% kinetic attacks to the entire fleet. That's really powerful. And 30% manufacturing to any planet on which this ship is stationed. Not bad at all. Commander Skyfire name. What? Okay. We have the Heart of Conquest, another battleship class that has 30% beam attacks to the entire fleet and 10% approval to any planet which this ship is stationed. Very, very nice. So actually, Commander Heart of Conquest name, could you not please? Heart of Conquest and Anvil would be a very powerful combo. This ship would dump so much damage downrange with the extra 30%. Remember the Orb of Dragonol? And for our factions, we have the Slavers Guild for manufacturing, Warforged for military production, Superiority League for science. We actually need to dump some people into here. And the Natural League, which we will probably ignore. But all right, 8 months on Imperial Doctrine. That's a long time. We need to do something to get our science going. Let's hope that we get the Gift of the Mithril. That would actually be great to put on Silkspire, which will have a silly population. But more importantly, let's hope we find a planet colonized that will have some form of sciencey planet. If we are to understand our place in the galaxy, we must first understand our immediate cosmic surroundings. Poets and philosophers alike are eager to hear news of what we find out among the stars, but some worry that we focus too much on exploring while ignoring many problems at home. We can start a mission for an extra 10% to manufacturing. We'll do that one. There is nothing around Stribor, and I am gutted. Now, do we check this purple star? I guess we will. We'll check the purple star and then head back to these yellow. But we're going to be racing these guys. Hopefully they decide to scout out over this way and not forward settle us. But having spotted them, we'll maybe get to see if they roll out any colony ships. They're producing a constructor 1 turn with a manufacturing of 108. Civilization focuses military. They've already gotten colonial policies. I'm pretty sure they start with all of these technologies though. Your flagship comes across a drifting cargo container seemingly abandoned and adrift in space for years. 5% gross income. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just scooch forward a bit more. There's just that one low gravity class 1-4. Head on down over this way. A new generation has been born on Silkspire, the first that are likely to live and die on distant worlds. I think our most brilliant thinkers would lead us forward. Now, we're going to get an extra scientist citizen, and our people are not the best scientists, but progressivism going up would be good, since I think we might go for a little bit of progressivism. I mean, our cultural progression is totalitarianism, and there's some good stuff here, but honestly, I don't think it plays into our strengths too much. I think getting some science, because we suck at science, this extra 30 research, plus the innovation complex down here, extra 100 research, another building. I mean, yes. Also, if we decide to go some form of influence game, we'll probably need a bunch of diplomacy, and 1 point in kindness here gets us 3 constructor ships plus an extra little bit of diplomacy, because, you know, people hate spiders for some reason. Or we'll need collectivism as well. At least this 100% homeworld influence if we decide to build the Beacon of Babylon there. But that depends on what sort of planets we find. But those are our options. I don't think it's totalitarianism. We might just splash into like these first two, but it really depends on what we scout. I'm also not seeing a lot in the way of like minerals, that sort of stuff. I don't see any Prometheon, Durantium, all that good stuff. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Science is still sucking at 2. Like 2, really? We're at the bottom of this list. We are dead last. Spider's stupid. Let's send our probe up to this location over here. Now, we could pick up our first totalitarianism, and that just gives us 100 control. We're going to pass on it. Are we looking on progressivism? Nobody is from our citizenry has progressivism, pacifism. We do have some population with collectivism, so maybe we'll want to do that first, and maybe just try to like influence strangle the cloner union. They're sending out a colony ship over this way, so they may be going to settle this volcanic world over here. It's not the best, but it is going to help develop their planet out quite a bit. 17 turns for a colony ship. Oh god, this. Oh, hello. Oh, it's just class 4s. Lame. Got all excited for nothing. Nothing over here either. Unlikely to find anything around these white stars. But we finally have something. We have Imperial Doctrine. That does give us an extra, the policy slot, the Minister of Colonization position for an extra bit of approval, the ability to make supply ships, the planetary generator, all good stuff. Leads on to research chambers, which gets us the tech capital, always nice to have. The research grants policy. We'll check out the tech tree in a minute. We do need universal translator, so it's here on discount. It's still going to take 15 turns. But alright, we do have our very first cultural progression. We could get this Eureka. I mean, we're talking something like 15 turns of research in one go. I kind of think we have to. So we'll take Eureka first up, and we get that temporary approval boost after discovering a new technology. Not that that's going to happen very often, but that does finish off for us our universal translator, and maybe we'll have some sort of rollover. We could go for asteroid mining. Getting these asteroids up will help our science just a smidge. We really need to get lucky and find a planet. Otherwise, we're doing a one-planet challenge. A biographer is interviewing you so they can write a book about your rise to power. We would like possibly pacifism going up. So we have achieved greatness, and now it's our responsibility to share that with the galaxy. For our policy slots, we will go for Heart of the Empire. We will probably not export food, or raise pollution, or drop approval. I guess we're exporting food. We're already like broke. We'll drop taxes all the way down for the research it gives us. Research focus does give us 25% research boost. They're not lying. But I do want to get some of our manufacturing finished off. So we'll take a +2 there instead of a +1 to research. As bad as our research is. But we have finished a way to communicate. So that's 10 culture points and a little bit of extra diplomacy. Plus, we can now speak to the clones. They're culturally different from us. They don't like us. We'll go ahead and speak to them. If our plan is to culture flip them, then we will probably want to have them on our side. We'll just go ahead and accept open borders if they will. They accept our offers. Here's to our mutual success. Beautiful. Okay, okay, clones. Be nice. Play nice. Another dead system. Let's head out over here. Small scavenger vessel is already picking through this debris field. The captain claims he hasn't found anything here. Offers us a tribute. We can get some honor spice. Pacifism can go up. No tribute is needed. We should help him instead. Now, if we do decide to build a beacon, and it looks like we might, we're going to need to keep an eye out and cash on hand to get some harmony crystals. There's a class 20 desert planet over here. That's decent. Is it worth colonizing? I don't think we can get this ship range. Speaking of, we should probably jam a Minister of Colonization in here. This is a +5. That's the best we're going to get. We'll take it. We have found the Drengen, it appears. They were down in this direction and have already sort of putting claims to this system. The Xendar is still crawling through the stars. I see. You blame us for abandoning you when the humans came to your worlds, but the Drengen Empire does not apologize for survival. We assessed this situation. Your position was untenable. Your defeat inevitable. We choose not to waste Drengen blood defending a lost cause. That you survived at all is mildly impressive, but you do not mistake our acknowledgement for respect. You remain what you have always been. Weak, bitter and ultimately irrelevant to the galaxy's true power. Enjoy your fleeting strength while it lasts, Drengen. Yes, they've already gobbled up these planets, which tells me that they are somewhere down here. And I do not love that they're that close. I also do not love that we don't have another world to our name. So we are pretty much on the back foot from the get-go here. With such bad research and no sign of like a research world. Let's double back and check out this planet as a last ditch. That does mean bad things for us. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to culture flip people. We're going to have to basically appease them in any way we can. Weirdly, the Drengen don't mind us. Let's go ahead and give them open borders. We'll play nice. We'll pretend like we're good spiders. We'll bide our time. When the time to strike comes along, we will strike. Now, Cloner Prime here, we sort of designed this species to have insane culture. And they do. They're up to 47 culture. Bearing in mind that the AI does not get a bonus to culture growth. But they do have a Krynic Temple here for plus 20 to that culture. And a culture input of 11. We have a culture input of 4. So yeah, we're going to need a lot of bonuses to overtake Cloner Prime in terms of culture generation. Well, here comes the trade ships. Thank you, we appreciate that. Moose Sith, who has been a trusted member of your government, once fell victim to the brainwashing cult. It managed to break free. We can support the cult's downfall, or Moo can lose some loyalty. I like how high your loyalty is, but it's so high you can probably take a hit here. The Cult of Jane here. What is that on your nose? Why would they... This AI generated out is hilarious. They want space war tactics. Oh my gosh, we can orbitally bombard things now. That's great. The new Terrans don't have that ability, or at least I wasn't able to discover it. Oh, how we've missed you, orbital bombardment. They're going to give me hive industrialization, supply alien world studies, and asteroid mining, which I should pretty much almost be finished, right? But I mean, that's 3 techs for 1 and 70 credits. What other tech do you have? Xenofactories, research chambers, research district, tech capital, tech capital. So I think these two technologies, research chambers would be like our version of research districts, but they essentially all have the same stuff. Now, we can try to fudge this deal a little bit, but we might lose out. Let's lose this. Let's lose asteroid mining. Let's see if they'll give me research chambers. They will. And xenofactories. That's a heck of a deal. I will take this deal. That's a heck of a deal. That has sped up our research program by at least like 50 turns at this point. So silly. Our science is so bad. Our flagship has stumbled across a curious sight, drifting precursor cargo container. Initial scans, an advanced particle beam that is remarkably small. This is probably not something we're going to use this playthrough, but it's always nice to have it. I will keep it. For our probe, we've basically seen everything we want to see, right? Let's just automate you. Go bust some fog for us. The Drengen Empire are second with the most colonized worlds. Good for you, guys. There's our harmony crystals. We cannot buy 3 at the moment, and we actually have no resource income. So I think we're going to pass on that. We'll try to find a way. Now, we could, in theory, take a hit to our approval for even more treasury. Okay, infrastructure's coming along. Food is still in the negative, so we're not gaining population. But when we do, we're going to have like 19 population is kind of crazy. Also, everybody just become a worker, please. That's what you're best for. Just be workers. I kind of like that you are an entrepreneur. It's not really a thing that you can become. Yeah, everybody be a worker. Let's get our manufacturing up. If that's what we got, that's what we got. Let's try to use it. Supply depot. Approval's already starting to look better. I don't need massive adjacency on this supply depot. It also only gives like +2 to manufacturing and military. So ideally, I would like to have this military tile surrounded, but it is not. That being the case, we're saving this for some sort of research, this for some sort of big manufacturing project. There's a good +5 science tile or something here. I think we'll place it over on this side. I'll put that to the front of the queue as that helps our manufacturing and gives us a bit of approval. It won't have huge adjacency right now. It also appears that the Brood, as mentioned by somebody in the comments, I believe, does not have access to districts, which is interesting. Do I need you, really, for that 6% collectivist. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. Lots of asteroids over here, but nothing else of note. 4 research. 4 on turn 21. That is just criminal. I kind of maybe want to get rid of this entrepreneur. Bumming me out, man. Yeah, bumming me out. Get out of here. Go be an unhappy space spider. Alright, give me that other research. That one research. Give it to me. I need it. We need this orbital research lab as well. We're gonna need Durantium. I will buy the Durantium. It's pretty cheap. Let's get that orbital research lab on Silk Spire. And probably everywhere else as well, actually. Give me? Yes, we will put it down. Effectively doubling our research from 4 to 8 with those changes. Happy with that. Hey. We still need one more occupier. We will want a construction ship. Then it's all supply ships to try and get through projects, of which there will be many. Alright, there's asteroid mining. Hopefully we get some asteroid miners for free. Let's choose a new tech. What do we got here? Space factories. It gives us the starbase modules. Gets us extra modules. Starbase range. Nah. Subspace frequencies unlocks the beacon of Babylon for us. That's the thing that we want. We don't need it just yet. I like the idea of space elevators for maybe going for Razar's lift. It's an ambitious play, especially since we'll have to buy like 5 Durantium. But just being able to put a space elevator up may be useful. Maybe we should just get some early defensive studies. 10 turns. Okay, 14 turns on the elevators. Oh my word. It is hard out here, guys. It is hard out here. Now that we have a little bit of extra science, it might be worth it to focus. We just got a +1. No, we'll leave it here. We will plug in research grants, however. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. There's our miners. We do get them for free. That's nice. Let's go ahead and plug those guys in. They're going to give us a little boost to our science. Well, to all of our economy, in fact. Yes, thank you. Now we're up to 11. All right, there is really not a lot of worlds out there. Let's set you to explore and forget about you. This is going to be a rough start. I don't know if we can actually swing this one. We have an economy relic over here. Fine. Many of the citizens of Silk Spire live in homes that are little more than storage containers. We can get 2 free slum improvements. This is unacceptable. Collectivism go up, please. I don't mind that at all. This Hector 3 does have a +3, which isn't bad to science. We could send that back to our homeworld if we can get a colony ship over there. Your flagship detects an unusual energy signature, +5 manufacturing to all of our worlds. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it. We need 3 Prometheon as well to get the tech capital. And normally I would go for like a Khazar's mainframe or something, but our science is so dearly bad. So dearly bad. Alright, send out another spider. I am going to grab this Hector 3 for that +3 science. By the time that hits our homeworld, it probably won't be giving us that full +3, but I'll still take it. We do have another cultural progression. We could go for pacifism for the 3 constructor ships, but there is nothing for our constructor ships to harvest in our sphere of influence, unfortunately. One of the downsides of being at the back end of space is that we lose all of this that we could potentially have. Now, there may be some resources out in this fog of war that we haven't identified. Maybe. But in the absence, I think we will go for unification plus 100% homeworld influence. Or we could go for progressivism for innovation. And our citizens with progressivism trait generate +1 raw tech would be good if we had any citizens with this ideology. We do not. I do think we will get collectivism. We want it, after all, and the sooner we have it, the better. This gives us 100% homeworld influence, and we'll see where we go from there. We'll pick those 2 up. So how's our influence looking now? We're up to 25.2, up against 47. We still have a ways to go. But we can build a lot of these things. We can indeed. Let's just plug him in right there. Prometheon is going for 100. We need 3 of them. We're down to 1,000. I am going to buy the 3 Prometheon now. and lock in the tech capital. We could do a +6 tech capital or a +8 tech capital. Now, there's no guarantee we're going to get Razar's Lift. There really is no guarantee. Not Razar's Lift, sorry, Khazar's mainframe. There's no guarantee we're going to get Khazar's mainframe. So we could just put the tech capital here and take that +8 to the bank. Or we could take a +2 and maybe think about getting Khazar's mainframe. I'm going to be greedy and go for it. We're going to give up this very juicy manufacturing tile, though, which I don't love. I will go with the initial plan of maybe getting Khazar's mainframe and sticking it right there. I think something like this works for me. Greetings, pitiful beings. I'm Dr. Zito, ruler of the Eternal Clones Union. Our scientific prowess knows no bounds, and our engineering marvels will ensure our dominance. Close. Alright, everybody loves us, but do they love us enough? We are going to have to work a little bit at diplomacy. Alright, we do get Hector 3, which is nice. It's going to send some amount. Plus, we have space elevators. We could build Razar's Lift if we choose to spend the amount of cash to get up the Durantium. I would like technology extraction next. It's going to take 10 turns. These numbers are starting to look a little bit more reasonable. I really hope the tech extraction comes up very soon. But for now, I think we'll just go for armed shuttles. Let's get some armed shuttles out there. Now, Hector's going to be sending some of these resources back. Supply attrition is 62%. Alright, so it's not actually sending that much back. We'll see. Most populous civilizations, we are not there, but I mean, it's a start. We're effectively on a one planet challenge here, and I don't know if we are actually going to be able to beat the clones. I'm going to use this to scout. Maybe there's some resources over here that we missed. We've come across some sort of device left behind by the Dreadlords. We can take the artifact and activate it. Now we're gonna focus on relations here. Give me the Diplo capital. There's the home world of Drengi. And we have met the Luxar Dominion. Hello, Luxar. We respect civilizations that value logic over sentiment. We're gonna pull some strings here as the web weavers. We're gonna try our best to maybe make some allies and point them at our hated foes, the Terrans and the Drengen, and hope that when the time is right to strike, we can capitalize on hopefully them being bled out by other species. But that all remains to be seen. But that's kind of the strategy I'm going for while we work away at our influence, which is still, it's just so slow. It's slow going here. It's really slow. We are going to need another occupier, however. But there's our armed shuttles. Let's choose a new tech. We do have space weapons and defensive studies. Let's go defensive studies real quick. Give me an occupier in there as well. The supply ship can just land over here. You land on that planet. Keep everybody happy. In fact, everybody just land over there. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, let's get you out. Park you on this planet. At least this system is done. And now we can focus on like constructors and spam. Constructor spam. Pirate smugglers and worst plague this sector. I love that +2 relations. I would like progressivism to go up, but we're going to lie to them. I will allocate resources to stopping these pirates, which is a blatant lie. Nihilism will go up, but we get 1 +1 relations. It is the Celestial Art Exhibition, 100 influence to all of our worlds, which I do like. I do like. The good thing about these planets being in close proximity to ours is that if we can get our culture to outgrow theirs, we will flip their planets, assuming they don't go to war with us. Assuming. Come back. Stop. Camera, where are you going? Camera. Camera. There we go. Thank you. This game. This game. But okay. This thing has precursor particle beams on it. 6 of them. Why? I expect them to have star cannons. Why does this have 6 precursor particle beams? That is a lot of firepower on one tiny little fighter. I didn't build that ship. That's interesting. As you know, the Clone Union has been enlightened by the Way. We could set up shrines. No, our influence will not take a hit. No shrines for you. There's our defensive studies, armor rating, shield, prototype defenses, how we've missed you, defensive measures. Point defenses, deflectors, all of this is very standard stuff. Leaves on to evasive something or other. Evasive tactics for +5 evasion, otherwise known as standard evasion. And we will pick up subspace frequency here for another policy slot. The Beacon of Babylon, planetary beacons, coordination beacons, all that good stuff that will help. Now we have supply ships. Let's start pumping them out. Let's start pumping out constructors and see if we can start buffing our culture. To that end, I will actually bring this back. Screw it, we're not going to find anything out in the black. Let's just bring it home and try to race the clones to cultural superiority in the short run. The clones are back. They want all of our money. They will give me gravimetric manipulation. Not a big fan of this. Reject. I need my money. Our manufacturing does seem to be pretty decent. We are actually pushing out quite a lot of production here. With 16 turns on Razar's lift. Not bad at all. Tech capital about to wrap up. That's going to be a little bit of a boost. So let's maybe buy the 5 Durantium that we need. The problem is that's going to basically bankrupt us, and we just don't have any sort of resource income. But Khazars is such an important piece of infrastructure. It's not necessary by any means, but I would love to have it, especially since our research or our production on this world is already so decent. It's a good tile there, there's a decent tile there. Hell, even this would probably be a decent Razars. Food looking good. Growth looking good. Everything's looking all right. I just don't know if I want to go busto for the beacon. You know, we'll have pretty good wealth generation. But anyway, there's the Beacon of Babylon. Again, we won't be able to get this until we have Harmony Crystals, which is a stupidly expensive resource to come across. There's another policy slot. Coordination Beacon, which is good for influence growth and more cultural growth. Planetary Beacon, beautiful. We will probably be building those. Another policy slot right there. And Space Factories. I think we want to go for economic development. We need money. And if we can't get money out of selling resources, we're just going to have to try and get it off of our planet. Also, if that's what we're going to do, we're going to need freighters. We're going to want to trade, at least in the short term, which will also hopefully help our relations. Let's go ahead and build some of these. It'll take 4 turns. Another flagship is very welcome. Go out there and find us money, please. Now, we need to position our constructor just right. We want to get maximum coverage. We'll wait on that one. I think we have enough food that we can actually go for export food here. Approval's starting to look pretty decent. What if we focus on science? That's a +3 to science. I will take that. I will take that. Let's scooch over here. Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, that seems good enough. Let's go ahead and build that starbase. We will make it a communications starbase. There's our very first starbase. We would love this cultural awareness center. Of course, we need Durantium. We don't have any of it, but we need that +10. So I will buy 1 Durantium. Durantium is already spiked in price. Might not be worth the investment, but I'm going to do it. We're up to 32.7 cultural progression, culture growth, while they're still at 47. So yes, we should be able to overtake them. The thing is, that's going to bring our borders into contact, and that's going to cause some friction. So we're going to need a diplomat that we don't have money for, and various other concerns that may make the clones, who I was hoping would actually be a nice smiley green face, dislike us, and dislike us intensely. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. But I think that's where we're going to stop. Traitors within our own colonization program have been secretly planning against us for a month. They found and kept a secret high-quality world and took some of your most hated rivals. Very well, where it is. Huh. We have a splinter faction on Serene. You know what? I'm okay with it. That's a world for us to conquer, assuming somebody else doesn't go to war with them as well. I mean, technically, it's a minor race, right? The Liberators. Well, doesn't matter. We're at war with them. We'll build a ship, maybe. We've also come across the Kryn. Hello. We have to be on our way, though. The Kryn don't like us. Why is that? Massive cultural differences. That's okay. You'll come around. You'll come to see how friendly spiders can be. We're super friendly. Spiders. Everybody loves spiders. But I think that's where we're going to end this first episode. We're definitely up against it here. Having found no planets nearby. Hopefully... I mean, clearly, the Drengen are not in the same situation. They have a lot of minor worlds, but no real colonies. They also have some other worlds over here. They've expanded massively. There's a lot of minor worlds, The clones don't seem like they found anything. We've just come across somebody else over here. That's probably the Kryn way off. And the Terrans are out there somewhere we will eventually have to make war with. Or that will likely make war with us. Now, we really... I mean, we could just ignore this and focus on our culture. I think that is what we're going to do. That's the only way out of this particular problem. Now, our production is good enough that maybe we could think about going to war with the clones. In all honesty, it's doable. I feel like it would be doable, but it would also slow our growth quite a lot. However, if we could get Cloner Prime, that's probably the best place to build a beacon of Babylon or something like that. So that is a consideration. That is a consideration. We don't need you to be a food boy. Thank you. You're a natural league, huh? Still, I do think we will want a coordination beacon. Excellent. And I think that's where we're going to end this episode. It's going to be tricky to pull this one out. Hopefully, we'll be able to navigate the diplomatic situation as the clones are already... I'm a warmonger now? Really? Am I, though? That's not helping our case at all. And I don't think you can even speak to the liberators. Or maybe they'll introduce themselves soon. I'm not sure, but thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy this series. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we will see you in the next episode. Hey, there's the Iconians. Bye!